a visionary inventor, a journey to Mars, and a small but powerful dream that changed everything. In that moment, the man admired by millions around the world was no longer just a symbol of innovation, but a human being with a deeply burdened heart. A little girl with sparkling eyes left behind a legacy that transcended time and space, touching countless lives. What could have compelled Elon Musk to step away from his numbers and daily routines to fulfill a profoundly personal mission? Stay tuned to uncover this heartwarming and inspirational story. If you enjoy meaningful stories like this one, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you won't miss the next touching tale. Thank you for supporting the channel, and there will be many interesting stories. Subscribe to the channel to receive the latest videos. Wish you happiness and peace. Elon Musk, you need to see this. Hannah's voice pierced through the quiet at Tesla headquarters. Standing at the doorway, her face unusually grave, she clutched a tablet tightly to her chest. Elon Musk didn't glance up, responding with disinterest. If it's not about Mars, it can wait. It's not about Mars, Hannah replied, her eyes fixed on him. This is about someone who sees you as her hero. That got his attention. Elon Musk raised his head, curiosity flickering in his eyes. Hannah stepped forward, placed the tablet on his desk, and pressed play. The screen lit up, showing a frail little girl lying in a hospital bed. Her face was pale, but her bright pink headscarf stood out vividly against her sallow complexion. Despite her weak body, her voice was steady and determined. Hi, Mr. Elon Musk. My name is Sophia, and I'm 9 years old. My dream is to go to Mars, but the doctors say I won't live long enough to see that happen. That's okay. I only have one wish, to meet you. Even just a hug would be enough. The video ended, leaving a heavy silence in the room. Elon Musk leaned back in his chair, his gaze fixed on the image of Sophia's radiant smile frozen on the screen. His voice, now low and somber, broke the silence. Is this real? Hannah nodded. Her mother sent it through a charity organization. Sophia is in the final stages of cancer. She doesn't have much time left. Elon Musk sat, motionless, the weight of the moment pressing down on his shoulders. Finally, he spoke. How soon can we make this happen? He didn't yet realize that his decision would not only change the life of a little girl, but also profoundly affect his own. On the drive to the airport, the car was so silent that the hum of the engine was the only sound as it cruised through the deserted streets. But Elon Musk's mind was anything but quiet. He stared out the window, replaying Sophia's video in his head. Her voice, her unwavering hope. It struck something deep within him. He had been called a hero many times, but this felt different. It was a pressure that success or wealth couldn't alleviate. As the car pulled up to his private jet, Hannah, seated beside him, broke the silence. You don't have to do this. To Sophia, you're already her hero, even if you stay here. Elon Musk didn't respond immediately. Stepping out of the car, the cold night air stung his face. At the foot of the jet stairs, he turned back to look at Hannah. She deserves more than just an image of me, he said firmly. She deserves something real. On board the jet, the steady hum of the engines provided a backdrop to Elon Musk's restless pacing. He hated sitting still on flights, but tonight the silence felt especially oppressive. What if I disappoint her? He muttered almost to himself. I don't think you will, Hannah answered from across the cabin. She was checking emails on her tablet, but her tone was sincere. She doesn't need you to prove anything. She just wants to meet you. That's what makes it harder, Elon Musk replied, sitting down but immediately leaning forward, his elbows on his knees, staring into the distance. Everyone sees me as this larger-than-life figure. To Sophia, I'm not just Elon Musk. I'm the person who made Mars a dream worth chasing. What if I can't live up to her expectations? Hannah closed her tablet and looked directly at him. Have you ever thought that Sophia's expectations might not be what you think? She's not asking for Mars. She's asking for a hug. Just you. Her words left him silent. Throughout his life, Elon Musk had chased the extraordinary, building visions of the future, but rarely had he paused to recognize the power of simply being present. He gazed out the window, his faint reflection merging with the vast darkness of the sky. When the jet landed, the city lights below shimmered like a galaxy. The hospital was only minutes away. Elon Musk realized this trip wasn't just about meeting Sophia. It was also a journey into uncharted emotional territory. And he wasn't sure he was ready for what awaited him. Outside Sophia's room, Hannah stayed a step behind Elon Musk, holding her tablet tightly to her chest. A nurse guided them through quiet hallways to the pediatric ward. The door to Sophia's room was decorated with hand-drawn pictures, rockets, planets, and an endearing but wobbly sketch of a SpaceX spacecraft. On a small nameplate, the words Sophia Space Adventures were written. Taking a deep breath, Elon Musk stepped forward. Elon Musk hesitated outside the door, his hand hovering just inches from the handle. Hannah gently touched his arm. "She's been waiting for this moment." "Sorry." He drew in a deep breath and stepped inside. The small room was brimming with life. The walls were covered in star charts, diagrams of Mars, and a telescope perched by the window pointed at the night sky. Beside it sat a small notebook labeled Mission Log in neat handwritten letters. Its pages were filled with sketches and plans marked by the determined scrawl of a young dreamer. In the center of it all was Sophia, propped up against a pile of pillows. Her frail frame was supported carefully, and the familiar pink scarf on her head brought warmth to her pale face. The moment she saw Elon, her eyes lit up. "Mr. Musk," Sophia whispered, her voice weak yet brimming with admiration. Elon knelt beside her bed, a soft smile breaking across his face. "You must be Sophia," he said gently. "I hear you're a big fan of Mars." Sophia giggled, a small but pure sound. "That's right. I've been training to get used to zero gravity. Look." She raised her tiny arms and mimicked floating, her laughter filling the room. "Do you think I'd make a good astronaut?" Elon's smile widened, his eyes warm with affection. "I think you'd be one of the best astronauts, but astronauts have to promise to train hard." Sophia held up her pinky, her eyes glowing with determination. "I promise." For a moment, Elon hesitated, swallowing the lump forming in his throat. Then he extended his own pinky, linking it with hers. "I promise too." They sat together, talking about rockets and space. Sophia eagerly opened her mission log, proudly showing off her detailed sketches for a Mars expedition. In one drawing, she had depicted herself in a spacesuit, standing beside a SpaceX rocket. Elon ran his fingers lightly over the shaky lines on the paper, his heart heavy. "You've thought of everything," he murmured, his voice thick with emotion. "You'd make a wonderful mission commander." Sophia beamed, a faint blush coloring her cheeks. "Do you think I'll really get to Mars someday?" Elon looked into her sparkling eyes, his gaze softening. "I think you're already there, Sophia." Their conversation continued until Sophia's mother appeared at the door, her face a mix of exhaustion and relief. Her hands trembled slightly as she spoke, her voice quiet. "Thank you for coming. You've made her so happy." Elon stood, stepping closer to her. "She's an extraordinary girl," he said sincerely. "I'm the one who's lucky to have met her." Sophia's mother smiled through her tears. "She wrote something for you," she said, handing him a small envelope. "She wanted you to have it." Elon accepted the envelope, its weight feeling far heavier than its size. Carefully, he slipped it into his pocket, knowing this moment would stay with him forever. That night, back at the hotel, Elon Musk sat silently by the window, the envelope still in his hand. The city lights twinkled outside, mirroring the chaos of his thoughts. Over the years, he'd read countless letters from fans, thanking him for his vision, for his contributions, for the hope he inspired. But this letter felt different. He knew it even before opening it. Under the dim glow of the lamp, Elon carefully opened the envelope. The handwriting was shaky but clear, each word chosen with care. "Dear Mr. Musk, thank you for making my dream come true. Meeting you was the best day of my life. When you go to Mars, please take a part of me with you. Even though I can't go, I still want to be part of the journey. Love, Sophia. Elon stared at the letter, overwhelmed by emotion. For all he had achieved, this simple note bore a weight greater than any accolade he had ever received. The next morning, as Elon Musk returned to the hospital, the atmosphere felt different. A hush had settled over the pediatric ward. Machines hummed softly, and voices seemed quieter, almost reverent. Sophia's mother stood outside the room, her eyes red but her expression steady. Her voice was barely above a whisper as she said, "She asked for you. Is it he?" She gently stepped aside, allowing Elon Musk to enter the room. Inside, Sophia rested against a pile of pillows, her pink scarf slightly askew on her head. She looked smaller, her face pale, but her smile shone as brightly as ever. "Hello, Mr. Musk," she whispered, her voice frail yet filled with joy. Elon Musk sat down beside her bed, gently taking her tiny hand in his. "Hello, Commander Sophia," he said with a faint smile. "How's your mission log coming along?" Sophia let out a soft, delicate laugh. "Almost ready for launch," she said, her voice thin but brimming with pride. "But I wanted to give you something first." Her mother handed her a small piece of paper, carefully folded into the shape of a star. Sophia's trembling hands passed it to Elon, her fingers shaking as she held it out. "This is for you," she said, her eyes sparkling. "Take it to Mars with you." Elon Musk carefully accepted the star, feeling its fragile yet precious weight in his hands. The folds were uneven, the edges slightly creased, but to him it was the most valuable gift he had ever received. "Thank you," he murmured, his voice catching in his throat. "I promise to take it to Mars." Sophia's eyes glimmered with excitement. "Do you really promise?" "I promise," Elon Musk replied firmly. "This star will travel farther than any star has ever gone." They sat in quiet companionship for a moment, the faint hum of medical equipment filling the background. Then Sophia looked at him, her expression turning serious. "Mr. Musk," she whispered, "I don't think I'll be here much longer." Elon's throat tightened, but he steadied himself. "You'll always be here, Sophia," he said softly. "Every time I look up at the stars, I'll see you." Her smile returned, weak but radiant. "Do you think people will remember me?" "They absolutely will," Elon Musk said, his gaze unwavering. "You've become part of something extraordinary, something historic. People will talk about you for generations. You've already made history." Sophia closed her eyes for a moment, her breaths growing softer. When she opened them again, she whispered, "I'll be watching from the stars." Elon Musk stayed by her side until she drifted off to sleep, her small hand still gripping his. When Sophia's mother returned to the room, her face streaked with tears, Elon rose quietly. He carefully placed the folded star into his pocket. As he left the room, he knew the little paper star was not just a keepsake. It was a promise he intended to keep. The next morning, Hannah received a call. When she entered Elon Musk's office, she found him staring out at the horizon as the first light of dawn painted the sky. The star lay on his desk, beside Sophia's letter. "She passed away early this morning," Hannah said softly, her voice laden with sorrow. The words hit Elon like a heavy blow. He remained motionless, his gaze fixed on the skyline. A man accustomed to overcoming the impossible, he now faced an unchangeable truth. After a long silence, he exhaled deeply, stood, and picked up the little star, carefully tucking it into his pocket. "Thank you," he whispered, his voice barely audible. Later that day, Elon Musk returned to the hospital to meet Sophia's mother. She sat in a familiar chair, the one where she had waited so many times before. Her face bore the weight of loss, but her resolve shone through. "She talked about you until her last moment," she said, her voice trembling. "She said you gave her everything she ever dreamed of." Elon took the paper star from his pocket, his voice softening. "She gave me this, and I promised her I'd keep it." Sophia's mother nodded, tears streaming down her cheeks. She believed in you. She always said you could do anything. Elon placed a comforting hand on her shoulder, a rare gesture from a man who often masked his emotions. She will always be a part of everything I do. Back at SpaceX headquarters, Elon Musk entered the design room, where the prototype of their latest rocket was being finalized. Pulling the folded star from his pocket, he addressed his team with conviction. I need this to go to Mars. It must be part of our first journey. There was no hesitation. The tiny star was carefully sealed in a special compartment, alongside mementos and messages meant for the future of humanity. It was more than a symbol. It was a piece of Sophia's dream, a promise carried into the boundless expanse of space. The day of the Mars launch arrived under a crystal-clear sky, as though the universe itself was opening its arms in welcome. At SpaceX headquarters, the air buzzed with activity, engineers and scientists working with precision as the countdown ticked closer. Beneath the towering rocket, Elon Musk stood silently, knowing the paper star was safely secured in the payload bay. Sophia had not only changed his life, she had become a lasting part of his legacy. The rocket's gleaming body shimmered in the sunlight, standing tall, like a monument to human ambition. In the control room, Elon Musk watched it through the reinforced glass, his gaze steady. Deep within the payload bay, the fragile paper star rested carefully near the core of the cargo, a small, yet immeasurably significant artifact. It wasn't just a memento, it was a promise fulfilled. 30 minutes to launch, Hannah said softly, standing beside him. Her usual confidence was replaced with a quiet reverence, reflecting the weight of this mission. Elon Musk gave a small nod, his thoughts consumed by memories of Sophia, her bright laughter, unshakable determination, and unwavering belief in something greater than herself. She had taught him an unexpected lesson, the profound impact of seemingly small moments, enough to reshape history. The voice of the launch director echoed in the room. Final systems check complete. All systems are go... Elon picked up the microphone, his voice deep and resolute, tinged with raw emotion. This launch isn't just about Mars. It's about hope, about dreams that transcend the limits of time and space. Today, we carry with us someone who inspired us to be better. She will forever be a part of this journey. The room fell into a solemn hush, his words resonating with every person present. Hannah placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder, her expression one of quiet support. 10 minutes, came the next announcement. Outside, the rocket stood resolute, a testament to humanity's ambitions. Elon's eyes never left it. As the final seconds slipped away, he whispered, almost too quietly to be heard, "This is for you, Sophia." The engines roared to life, their thunderous power shaking the ground. The rocket lifted off the launch pad, flames streaking behind it as it tore through the sky like a shooting star. Cheers erupted in the control room, a symphony of triumph, but Elon remained motionless, his eyes following the rocket until it disappeared from sight. Months later, when the first rover transmitted images from Mars back to Earth, one photograph captivated the world. Inside the station's living quarters, a small memorial stood. Behind a protective glass case rested Sophia's paper star, alongside a plaque inscribed with the words, "For Sophia, who dreamed of the stars and became one of them." The image spread rapidly, touching millions across the globe. Children everywhere began folding their own stars, sending them to SpaceX with letters about their dreams of exploring the cosmos. Schools named projects after Sophia, and her story became a symbol of resilience, hope, and the boundless power of human imagination. Years later, Elon Musk visited the memorial on Mars. Beneath the harsh sky and thin atmosphere, he stood in silence, his gaze fixed on the delicate paper star. Its folds had faded slightly, but it remained intact, a testament to its journey and meaning. "You made it, Sophia," he whispered, his voice breaking in the thin air. "We did it together." Back on Earth, Sophia's story continued to be told. A tale of a little girl who dreamed of Mars, the man who carried that dream to the stars, and the legacy that reminded humanity that no dream is too small to change the universe. And somewhere, far beyond human reach, Sophia's star still shone brighter than ever. Thank you so much for your continued support of the channel. We truly appreciate each and every one of you. During the content creation process, there may have been some small mistakes, and we hope you'll kindly overlook them. Wishing everyone happiness, peace, and good health in life. Stay tuned for more.